Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. What if Goku had Broly's adaptation? Now what I mean by this is that Broly is a special Saiyan. On top of his legendary Super Saiyan power, he's a mutated Saiyan. But the fact that Broly's adaptability is insanely busted. He was able to go from fighting base form to being overpowered, to being able to tank Super Saiyan God level attacks because he was adapting. Vegeta was even shocked, saying that he's learning as he's fighting. This version of Broly was able to pick on techniques just from seeing it once, and we have seen this before with Vegeta trying out instant transmission for the first time, and even Goku learned the Kamehameha wave just the first time seeing it, and on his first try as well. But that's nothing new. The main thing is the adaptability. Goku's power, that with Broly now, will continue to rise as they face a threat that is stronger than them. Broly was able to fight beings that have contended with gods, and Broly only trained with his father, which Frieza even said was pretty non-existent and didn't really help him. Broly was just naturally that strong. But how quickly he was able to rise in power from just one fight goes to show how high he's able to adapt. Gohan is in a similar boat, but his strength really lies from his rage and his potential. But Broly has a similar thing as well, but we're going to do what if Goku had this adaptability, where any opponent that he faces, he quickly rises in power far beyond what anybody has ever seen before. Now the majority of the beginning of Dragon Ball plays out the exact same, with Bardock still sacrificing his life to beat Frieza. Fortunately, he knew that he would not be able to stop him, but he knew that one day his son will kill Frieza. As he knows that this will change the future, as he would then throw his final javelin cannon right at Frieza, but sadly, his supernova from his finger would do nothing to him, as Bardock was engulfed alongside planet Vegeta, leaving only a few Saiyan survivors left in the universe. Goku would still arrive on planet Earth just like before, and meet Grandpa Gohan. Goku still being an infant, he doesn't really have any crazy power showings, of course. His power level is still mediocre. Goku would still hit his head just like before, and you could say that he could recover faster than before as he's adapting quickly, but none of that really changes. Goku would still be the happy-go-lucky Saiyan that we all know and love. This is when Bulma, on her summer vacation, will begin searching for the Dragon Balls. Goku by this point has turned into a great ape already and sadly killed Grandpa Gohan. As true, Goku's adaptability is crazy, but that doesn't mean that he has any control over the Uzaru state. Sadly, he killed Grandpa Gohan. You can say though that this version of Goku is actually stronger, because he has trained and fought with beings that are stronger than him. Grandpa Gohan, from what we know, had a battle power of around 60 to 70, which is very impressive. But Goku by this point is probably stronger than that, probably reaching near 80s at least. But Goku is actually much stronger, as Goku by the original had a power level of around 10 to 12, which is very impressive. Goku would still meet Bulma just like before, as he was searching for the 4-star Dragon Ball. This is when she would try offering panties just like before. Goku would not be interested, so she decides to kind of trick him, for Goku to become her bodyguard, and to protect her. So Goku and Bulma would then leave, going on their adventures on this search for the Dragon Balls. This is when they would then receive the Flying Nimbus for bringing Roshi his turtle back. They would meet the turtle, and they would find out that it needs to be brought to the sea, and it needs to be given seawater. After helping him out, they would then meet Master Roshi for the first time. Master Roshi, after seeing them help, would still offer the Flying Nimbus to Goku and give away the Dragon Ball. The 3-star Dragon Ball was now in their possession, having 2 Dragon Balls now. This is when Goku would still defeat Terrible Oolong just like before, and they would still get the 6-star Dragon Ball. Pretty much any threat that Goku steps in his way, he can defeat pretty fast, as these early villains have no chance against this version of Goku, who has grown much stronger. This is when Bulma and Goku would then meet Yamcha and Puar for the first time, and we know that Goku was originally defeated by Yamcha because he was still starving. While I do believe that Goku would still be overpowered by Yamcha first, because he is starving, Goku would still have enough power because he's still way stronger than he was to hit Yamcha at least once, which would then knock him out completely. This is when Master Roshi would then use the Kamehameha wave to put out the flames on the Frying Pan Mountain. Though, he does destroy the mountain alongside with the castle as well, but they would still find the 7-star Dragon Ball. Goku would still defeat the Boss Rabbit and his gang, sending them right to the moon. Now Mai and Shu would steal the Dragon Balls from Goku and the gang. Now Pilaf would still summon Shenron, and Ulan would still make his dirty wish. Now this is when they were locked up originally. But now in this time, we're actually going to be having some changes. Goku would not turn into a great ape, as he never looked at the moon because they were locked up. With Goku being so much stronger, with a simple ki blast, he would be able to blast his way out of that building and defeat the gang, and destroying Pilaf's castle in the process. This is when a few days later, we're going to be having Goku and Krillin, who would, after meeting each other, they would then be tested by Roshi, seeing if they should be worthy to train under him. Goku would easily blitz past his test, pushing the rock with ease, even almost lifting it with a finger, and he would also be able to run way faster than Krillin ever could. Now, Krillin by this point had a battle power of around 40, around 50. Goku by this point, after fighting every now and again, his adaptability is still going up as he's still fighting. This would mean that Goku's power level would probably be at least 120 from 80. It didn't rise too much because of the fact that he hasn't really fought an opponent that's really pushed him yet. But we will get to those opponents very soon. Roshi would immediately train the two, and they would then spend the next 7 months training. This is when Goku and Krillin would still be increasing the weight of the shells on their backs. Now we know that from Broly originally, he's never actually done real training. He did do some practice with Paragus, but even Frieza said it was mediocre with his power level. But with martial arts and the weight training that they're doing, Goku would continue to grow at a faster rate, even surpassing Krillin. But Krillin's not left in the dust, as Krillin is pushing himself to become even stronger. So Krillin is actually a little bit stronger than he originally is, I would say by an extra 20 to 30, which is very impressive for the people in the early Dragon Ball. This is when the Red Ribbon Army would still begin searching for the Dragon Balls, and this is before all this happens. They would then go to the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. And this is when Jackie Chun in the original defeated Goku. This time around, Master Roshi would still be able to fight Goku pretty evenly, as Roshi's been keeping his training up. Now after the 7 months of training, Goku's power level by now is definitely near the 180s. At this point though, even if Master Roshi still fought Goku, he has no chance. Master Roshi would still go buff form, and even the opponents that Goku would have fought originally, Goku would still easily surpass them, no problem at all. As his adaptability is rising as he's fighting, Goku by the end when he fights Roshi is at around 220 to 230, making him nearly as strong as Demon King Piccolo and he was originally when he drank the Ultra Divine Water. We are then going to cut forward when Goku would then fight Master Roshi head on. Roshi would have to use his buff form to even touch Goku at all, but Goku was far too quick, and without even turning into a great ape, he would knock Roshi out of the ring. This is when Goku would still spend all of his money, and he would spend it all on eating a lot of food. This is when the Red Ribbon Army and Goku begin their race searching for the Dragon Balls. Now the Red Ribbon Army already has attained the 6 and 5-star Dragon Ball. This is when Goku would easily defeat Colonial Silver. Goku would then end up in the Jingle Village, and he would then take down the Muscle Tower with absolute ease. This is when, after fixing the broken Dragon Radar, Goku would easily defeat General Blue, but he would still meet Ariel in the Penguin Village just like before. The difference here is Mercenary Tao would not kill General Blue. Goku would easily defeat them in their matchup, but Goku would still be at the base of Korin's tower, and Goku would still climb the tower all the way up to meet Korin. And he would begin taking his training as Korin senses that immense power within him, he could maybe survive the Divine Water. This is when he would then take the Sacred Water from Korin, increasing his power even more. So after 3 days of quickly training, he would then obtain the Sacred Water. By this point, Goku's battle power is at around 220 to 230. Especially after drinking the Ultra Divine Water, his battle power is around 350. Thus making him way stronger than he was originally, but not as strong as he was during the Raditz saga just yet. Now, this is when he would then easily defeat the Red Ribbon Army, and he would still fight Grandpa Gohan in the Fortune Teller Baba Battle Arena. Now, this is when Goku would still swim to Papa Island, where the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament would begin taking place. Now, just to throw it out there though, Goku hasn't really met somebody that can fly fully yet. There are some characters who can, but Goku hasn't really met one and fought against one that can fly, but we'll get to that shortly. Tien Shinhan could actually fly, from what we know, so this is when the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament would then take place. Goku would easily blitz past any opponent in his way. Now, Krillin will still fight Roshi, and Roshi will still fight Tien, but he'll drop out just like before. But this time, Tien Shinhan would not win. Goku being so much stronger than Tien, Tien has no chance to fight this version of Goku. Goku would easily defeat him, but this time around, Krillin would still be killed by Tambourine, and Demon King Piccolo would then appear. This is when Goku would then meet Yajirobe to find Tambourine. Goku would easily defeat Tambourine without even breaking a sweat, and when he actually fights Demon King Piccolo, this time around Demon King Piccolo was easily defeated. Even if he was in his younger body and in his prime, he would not be able to defeat this version of Goku, as he is far, far too powerful for this version. Goku would have easily defeated him with the Kamehameha, but this time around, there's no Piccolo. Since Goku's blast was so powerful, it would completely wipe out Kami. This also means that if Demon King Piccolo dies, then Kami's wiped out as well, so Kami would still die. But there's one twist. This is when they use the Dragon Balls, and they'll bring back Krillin, and then, later on, Demon King Piccolo still caused a lot of damage. So Bulma would still make the wish to wish back everybody that was killed by Demon King Piccolo. The dragon would still make this wish. This means that Demon King Piccolo would actually return. Goku by this point is still up training with Popo. Kami would then suddenly appear back again. And this is when, after introducing himself back to Goku, Kami would then explain who he is and what he is, especially. Goku thought he was Demon King Piccolo getting ready to fight again, but Demon King Piccolo is now revived, and he would try to search for the Dragon Balls. Even though he was still old, Goku would then meet him, but he knows to not kill him fully. He would then easily beat down Demon King Piccolo, as Kami even told him to end him, and the fact that you don't need the Dragon Balls when you're so powerful. This is when Goku would actually agree with Kami's wish, as Kami already died in the first place. Goku would then shoot a Kamehameha wave, but Demon King Piccolo this time around would still spit out an egg without nobody seeing, and he would then perish. But Kami was still kept alive, which means that there's an offspring somewhere. Now that Kami was brought back, he would still train Goku for the remainder of the couple of years, and now, this is after training on Kami's lookout, Kami would not need to restore the planet Moon since it was not destroyed. Now, this also means that Kami would still remove Goku's tail, as he still knows that Goku can turn into a Grade 8, but Goku's tail is still gone. This is when Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, and Chaozu would then climb to Korn's Tower. Now, this is when they would begin training for the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, and this is when it would begin taking place. Goku still met Chi-Chi just like before, as the same events would happen, and he's still a bit goofy, so he would still think that, of course, wedding is some type of fool getting married. And Chi-Chi would still be mad at Goku for the fact that he kept ducking her, so Goku would still knock out Chi-Chi pretty easily, and then he would accept her to be married. This, where some things are going to change, as now with Piccolo Jr. here, he has kept his training up as he knows how strong Goku is. But even though Piccolo did train a bit more intensely than before, it doesn't make a difference. Goku's seen the biggest change, especially when he went into a room called the Hyperbolic Time Chamber and experienced gravity training for the first time. This would then jump his power level by a massive margin. Even though he only spent 3 months inside, stated by Goku, that's plenty of time to grow his strength. Goku by this point has a power level of well over 3,000. So when he does fight Piccolo, he has no chance of defeating this version of Goku. Goku easily defeated him, but he still spared his life as he knows that if Piccolo dies, then Kami dies. Goku's grown a closer connection with Kami as his master, so he cannot do it. And they still need the Dragon Balls in case anything happens. Piccolo would be spared, as Goku states that he can stop him no problem. Piccolo would then fly off, as this is when he would go and marry Chi-Chi. This is when, a couple years later, Gohan would still be born, and of course, jumping 5 years later. This is when Nappa and Vegeta and Raditz are taking over the planet Sheik. And the Saiyans have an audience with Frieza, and after discussing their plans to usurp the tyrannical emperor, Raditz actually remembers that on Earth is nearby, and he knows that he has a brother there. If he could join them, they have a way better chance of beating Frieza, so Vegeta and Nappa would let him go, as this is when Nappa would begin heading over to find his brother. Once when Raditz arrives on Earth, this is where some things are going to change. Piccolo would then see how strong Raditz is. Goku would have already sensed it. Raditz would then sense that there's a power level of over 500 nearby, and he would then fly off as Goku was still at Master Roshi's house. And this is when he would introduce Gohan to everybody. Now, if people are wondering, will Gohan have Goku's adaptability? No, Gohan will remain the same as he is in the original. His potential is already high as is, as the fact that with his rage and everything, adding the adaptability is insanely busted and Gohan will be far too powerful for anybody. This is when Raditz would then appear and he would be furious that Goku's tail is gone. But he would then explain who the Saiyans are and what they do, that they are tyrannical leaders and they try to take over planets and pirate them for money. He would then tell him that the planet should have already been done and they could have already left it and sold it for the highest bidder. Goku would never join Raditz, as he explained, that he would never join him, and he's no brother of his. Raditz would then explain that he will take it by force, as he needs an offering to try and force Goku to change his ways, so once when he tries to take Gohan, Goku would actually stop him midway. Goku was much faster than Raditz thought, as a powerful knee would then send Raditz near the water. Raditz's scouter beat off, and his power level jumped up to 2000 instantly, but then now it's back down to 500. Raditz doesn't understand, and maybe it must be like a glitch in his scouter. He was faster than he thought, but against him, power level 500 will do nothing to him. Goku would then tell Raditz that you do have one chance to leave and to never return. This is when Raditz would not accept this, as Raditz would then fly in and him and Goku would begin fighting near Master Roshi's home near the islands nearby. Now this version of Raditz has no chance against Goku, as Goku would then prove his point, as Raditz would then fire a double Sunday right at Goku, who would just slap it away like it's a toy. This would then shock Raditz, as Goku would then say that he's never faced somebody this strong before, and it's actually getting him excited. Raditz would then go into his full power, jumping from 1200 to 1500, fighting Goku with everything that he has, but Goku was still far too powerful for Raditz, as this version of Goku began powering up. Raditz would then tap his scouter as it would begin flying up, seeing his power level reach well over 4000, and then he would then scream it out. Nearby, Vegeta and Nappa would begin hearing it on his radio comms and actually be interested to go see. Nappa doesn't believe that this Saiyan's low class is a power level nearing his own. It's impossible. Vegeta does find this Saiyan interesting, but they decide to go head towards planet Earth to see what's going on. This is when Vegeta would actually tell Raditz that they're going to be arriving there within a year. Raditz would then begin laughing, and he would then tell Goku that two Saiyans stronger than even he is are going to be arriving within a year's time to destroy you. Goku would not want to waste time, as he would then give Raditz one chance to get away. Raditz would not accept this, as he just can't lose. There's no way that his brother is that strong. It makes no sense. Raditz would then try a dirty tactic. He would then try to fire a double Sunday at his friends, which Goku would appear just in time and actually deflect the blast. Goku's rage began to boil, as he would then explain that he gave him one chance to get away, but he tried hurting his friends and his family. Goku would then begin charging up a Kamehameha, as Raditz would begin pleading for mercy now, but Goku's not taking it lightly. Goku would then fire the blast full attack that would hit Raditz and then blast him onto the ground, as Raditz's armor was blown off and his scouter was nearby. Raditz would then, with his dying breath, tell him, too, that Vegeta and Nappa will be coming. Nothing he can do to stop it. And then he would then pass on. After this point, Bulma would then collect a scouter, as Bulma was now going to look into deciphering the language, so she can then figure out how to kind of get the scouter working. And especially since they have a space pod as well, they can use this to make a spaceship. This is when Goku knows that within a year's time, those Saiyans will be arriving, so he would then discuss with his friends what to do. Well, this version changes a lot, since if Goku never dies like the original, he's never going to go and see King Kai, or is he? We're then going to cut towards Kami's lookout. Piccolo's not there, as he actually took Gohan, and he was actually planning on training the brat But in this one, there's some changes. Piccolo would never train Gohan as because Goku's actually around. Now, Gohan would actually train at Kami's lookout, and Chi-Chi would actually be allowed to stay there so he can keep his quote-unquote studies up. Kami would actually train the boy, and Piccolo would not be there. He would begin training solo on his own, which would actually make him stronger because he can focus just on training solely by himself, not having to deal with a little kid. This is when they would then take Kami's training and even use the hyperbolic time chamber. But Kami has a different level of training than Goku. He would then explain that there's somebody in the other world. It's another dimension. When you die and you pass on, you can meet somebody named King Yemma. Kami did know who this guy was, and he was actually able to teleport back and forth between there. As this was shown when Goku went back to the land of the living, Kami was already there, and he actually teleported back, and Kami already knew who King Yemma was. King Yemma would not teleport someone from the living right there. It just would not make any sense. Now, this is when Kami would then explain that there's somebody who can maybe help you. King Yemma knows all the living and the dead. Maybe he can find a teacher for you. Somebody that can push your limits far beyond anything. As you've learned everything you can from me, you need something else to become something different. Goku would then take his leave, as he would then meet King Yemma, who was a bit irritated why there's somebody living in here, as it's meant for souls only. Goku would then beg and explain that, look, there are these Saiyans that are heading towards planet Earth, Vegeta and Nappa, and I need to find the best teacher that you know, someone who can help me grow stronger to stop them. King Yemma would then think about it, and he says, well, I'll decide this on your record. He would actually look over Goku's record of his life, and he would see that Goku wears his heart of gold, and that he's a hero. This is when King Yemma would then accept it, as if Goku was any less, he would not, and he would send him back to the land of the living. He would then tell Goku to run down Snake Way, as it will not be very fun. But there's one problem. How is Goku going to be able to run down there if it's super long? He's going to starve to death. This is when Kami has an idea. Bulma came through, and she actually has capsules for Goku to bring with him. So once when Goku can actually stop, he can press a capsule, and then boom, there's a whole gourmet meal for him to eat. And it should last a couple of weeks for him, maybe even a month. Goku would then take his leave and then fly. This version of Goku can already fly, and the fact that he has a power level of a couple thousand, nearly 4 to 5, he's much faster. Instead of Goku taking nearly 2 to 3 months to arrive, even more actually, this is when this version of Goku would get there within a few days, maybe even less than that. As in the original, it took Goku months on end to arrive all the way to Snake Way, but since this version of Goku is flying, and on top of the fact that he's way faster, he can get there within a days or two time. But knowing Goku, he probably ate the whole month's supply of food anyway within that short time because he's Goku. Once when he would arrive, he was completely exhausted as he went full speed all the way there to get as quick there as possible. He would then jump and head right towards King Kai. This is when Goku would then fall flat on his face. Goku was not as heavy as he originally was, as remember his adaptability is quickly setting in. Within a few minutes or so, he would quickly adapt to gravity and now he can walk around no problem. This already has increased his power from 4,000 to roughly around 5 to 8,000. This already makes him way stronger, the fact that he's just grown just from the heavier gravity. So it'll go from around 4,000 to let's say about 6,000. This is when King Kai would then meet Goku, and after saying a funny joke, King Kai would then agree to train the Young Saiyan. This is when King Kai would actually fight Goku, and King Kai knows that he's not going to do very good, but he was the strongest he's ever seen. King Kai has a battle power of around 3,000 or so, and he states that the Saiyans are even stronger than he is. This gets Goku pumped up, and Goku states, how would I fare against them right now? After sensing, King Kai would then sense that you would do okay against one of them, but the other one would easily defeat you, no problem. This actually gets Goku excited, that there's somebody that strong. King Kai would then state that he'll teach him everything that he needs to know. He would then teach him the ways of the Kai, as now Goku would easily catch bubbles and easily hit Greg around the head with the mallet. This is when we're going to cut forward, when Goku would finally learn Kaio-Ken, and he would also learn the Spirit Bomb. Now Goku's level of the Kaio-Ken is very high already. Goku was able to jump to Kaio-Ken times 2 immediately with no problem, which King Kai says that that's about the highest that you want to go. But Goku says that he can go higher, he knows he can. Goku would then jump up to times 3, under King Kai yelling to not do that, He would then jump up to times 4, times 5, and by the time he hits times 5, it was starting to strain his body, but he notices that the more he uses it, the easier that it's getting, and King Kai can see this too. It's incredible. Goku would then jump up to times 6, times 7, times 8, then times 10. This already, Goku at this point would then reach times 10, as King Kai would then stop him, saying that you can't go much higher than that, you're going to destroy yourself, you can literally explode. Goku's body was already quickly adapting to Kaio-Ken that quickly, already using it for the first time. He was jumping up that fast. And using the Spirit Bomb, Goku was easily able to use it, as Goku was actually able to use the Spirit Bomb much faster, as it didn't take as long to actually summon the Spirit Bomb, and he could even use it on a wider range. As you know before, Goku could only take energy from the planet, and even in the Namek Saga, he was able to take energy from the entire solar system and universe. So just throwing it out there, Goku can reach further, and he can already do this already. Goku can take energy from all beings around the other world, which is a massive feat. Goku was more than ready to fight the Saiyans. So he would then fly full speed. Now, wait a minute. How strong is Goku now? Well, we know that Goku got around 18.8 times stronger in the original, but since his adaptability is so high, he's not fighting an opponent, but with the Kaio-Ken and 10 times gravity, jumping his power level up even more. His power level originally, when he first got used to the gravity, was around 6,000. Now, if you want to add the Kaio-Ken, you can add that times 2. Goku got around 18.8 times stronger in the original. So, adding this together, Goku has a new power level of 225,000, which is insanely high, but again, he has Broly's adaptability. Goku would then fly full speed right back to planet Earth, as he would get there really fast, within an hour or two. Now by this point though, the hour or two was too late, as Goku accidentally misstepped what day was supposed to be happening, and by the time he did arrive, unfortunately too late for one person. Now we know originally the first person that died was actually Yamcha. Yamcha unfortunately would die, as they would get right into the action summoning the Cybermen. But when Goku arrives, he just saw the explosion happen. So he's a little bit late, but not by too much, as now Goku knows that they need to use the Dragon Balls to wish him back. Piccolo is still alive, so this will change some things. Goku, by this point, would still easily defeat Nappa in his way. Now, Piccolo actually being a little bit stronger, he would actually be able to fight Nappa pretty well. Now, this is when Goku would then begin battling Vegeta. Now, his battle with Vegeta was very intense, but Vegeta has no chance. This is when Goku would easily blast him up near outer space, and Vegeta would then summon a fake moon just like before. Once when he becomes a great ape, he would then smirk at Goku, as Goku would actually get a bit more excited. He is actually very strong. But sadly, Vegeta has a battle power of 180,000, which is nothing against nearly 230. Goku would easily punch Vegeta around, and he would then cut off his tail, turning Vegeta back into a normal Saiyan. Vegeta would then crawl away as the damages were very severe. Goku would actually let Vegeta go, and Vegeta would tell him that you will regret saving me. Afterwards, what are they going to do now with Yamcha gone? Well, they can use the Dragon Balls to bring him back, no issue, so they would begin collecting the Dragon Balls, and they would then wish Yamcha back to life. Now, there would actually be peace on Earth, and they would never actually go to Namek because, again, Piccolo never died and Kami never dies, which means Earth Dragon Balls disappeared in the original, but not here. This also means that Frieza doesn't even know about the Dragon Balls, so he would never have a quest to go searching for them. Vegeta and the others never even heard about it, so they don't even know about the Dragon Balls, they just showed up because Goku was insanely powerful. If Frieza did hear something like that, Frieza would probably not really care about it, and he would just keep that Saiyan on his end of the universe and he'll mind his own. But anyway, that is it for part 1 of this What If you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down below about What If Goku had Broly's adaptation. It will quickly change, very quickly. But anyway, if this video reaches 300 likes, I shall continue on to the next one. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all later.